Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. I say welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. If you're back again, a repeat customer, if you will, welcome back and thank you for supporting the channel. I started this YouTube channel 3 months ago. They all say better late than never. I've been wanting to do it for ages. I like talking and I like making videos, so this seemed to be the perfect marriage, if you will. My name is Ketan. I call myself that day-to-day guy because I'm just like you, just a normal, everyday guy living his life day-to-day and somewhere along the way sharing some experiences that I've had. And today's subject, I'm smirking because it's a subject that I sometimes do rant about and I share some stuff on my personal socials about this, but asking for free stuff on social media. That is one of my bugbears of society that we live in today. You know, there's not going to change. I'm not even venting because it doesn't bother me anymore, but I'm just putting it out there, offering an alternative philosophy, if you will. There's a phrase I call basically social responsibility, and it's a case of like, when you attain a certain status in society, you should use it to positively help people along. So, whether that's kind of, famous or rich or whatever the case may be. That's my view. So, story. I was once messaged by a friend of mine. She said to me her boyfriend's starting a car valeting company and whether I would let him come and wash my car for free, and if I like what he did, I would post my thoughts on local Facebook groups. And whilst I'm a nobody in the grand scheme of life in Windsor, I know a lot of people, and I network with many local residents and so on. So my opinions are somewhat valued. So I said to her, I wash my car by myself. So it's not really something that I would consider. And she said, well, you've got nothing to lose because he's going to clean your car for free, and if you like it, you can recommend it. And I thought to myself, this is a bit great way to get your car washed for free, but just didn't sit well with me, having someone come to my house and wash my car for free. But they insisted, and I thought, you know what, why not? He came to my house on a Tuesday morning. I was going to leave the car there. I was going to get lifted into work that day. And then, so arrived at the house, showing the tap and so on the driveway. I was about to get into my friend's car. She came to pick me up, and I turned back and looked at my house, and I thought to myself, so much processing happened in this very moment. I thought to myself, wow, what a nice house, nice car on the driveway. I left the garage door open for him to access stuff. My other car was in there, and I thought, there's something wrong about this scenario. I've got a guy who's starting out in his business, and he's at my house, and there's a display of, I don't want to say wealth, but a display of above averageness. And I got out the car and I said, listen, here's 50 quid. I can't have you doing this for free. And it was awkward for me as well because I was almost in a situation where I've now paid somebody to help them, but let's not talk about that. Let's not focus on that because that's not the point of the video. I just couldn't bring myself to have somebody do work for free when I should instead be supporting that person by paying them to get their service, if you will. So that's where I was at. Another time, one of these random stupid, they're stupid, but one of these random Instagram accounts messaged me and said, I say stupid because this is the same generic message, we love your style, yeah, blah, blah, blah. We'd like to give you a free watch up to the value of X amount. I think it was like 100 quid or something. They sell these like cheap-ish. I say cheap-ish, but I like my watches. Anyway, so all I had to do is do an Instagram post and a story. And I thought, yeah, great, I'll give the watch to my brother. My brother's less bothered about watches. So I went on the website to choose a nice one that I can give to him that I think would suit his style. And then I thought to myself, hold on a second, I'm going to have to put out there on social media that I like this. And I'm a nobody. I've got like 2,000 followers, but that's not the point. I, again, just morally couldn't do it. Just to get a free watch, I couldn't, hand on heart, make this false recommendation of this watch brand. It was a fashion brand that sell watches, so it wasn't even like a proper watch brand. But I couldn't do it. And at work, I tell these stories because At work, we regularly get messaged by people, semi-famous people, with a variety of number of followers from like 10, 20,000 up to 1 million followers. The lady with 1 million followers paid for her product. So when people with 10, 20,000 followers message and say, oh, if you give us a free product, you'll get sales from it. And I think to myself, man, that someone with 1 million followers paid for their product. So who are you to ask for a free product? But anyway, this is just the world we live in now. So this is just my opinion. This is not going to change. This is just the way that certain business or a sector of business is a new way to do business. It's advertising, in effect. So not diminishing the effort it takes to create a social media channel with tens of thousands of followers or hundreds of thousands or millions, because it does take effort. We've got almost 30,000 followers on our work account, but we don't have the egos that go with that because we know it's nothing. Like, it doesn't mean anything. We're not millionaires. We don't get paid by companies to give. We don't get free tools and this and that. And post our tool and we give you. It just doesn't happen like that. And we also don't seek out those kind of opportunities. But I think, from my perspective, if you're going to be the kind of person who on your social media are showing lavish holidays, 10 grand Dubai holidays, Maldives, and £100,000 cars and £1 million houses and so on, I'd feel like a right dickhead asking somebody to get their service for free when I'm the one projecting how rich I am. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. So sometimes what we do now is when people message for this stuff, we'll say, listen, you know what? We'll give you a discount. And then what we'll do is we'll pay you a commission for every one sold as a result of your post or your story or your coverage, your content. And they always ghost by that point. Nobody ever takes that conversation further because they know that this is just, it's not going to work. Like, they know that they don't actually possess that power. So this is a kind of bubble that's waiting to burst. I think we're going to get through that phase eventually where people will realize that, this is not going to be a long-term way of selling. Definitely social media is a way of selling, but this whole thing of these people projecting this fake life, and that perpetuates another problem whereby you've got people, their followers, who are aspiring to be like that, when the reality is they can't even afford that lifestyle. And then it creates this feelings of inadequacy amongst their followers, amongst other people that look at them. I follow David Beckham. Does it mean I can afford the stuff that he posts? No, because we have different budgets. So that, you might have 10, 20, 30, 50,000 followers. And also, not everybody is like this. Let's just get that one thing clear as well. We've had so many people who've messaged us, and because of my frank conversation with them, and sometimes not even because of that, we had one lady who came with her husband to the workshop, and she said, listen, I don't want a discount. We were like, we didn't offer a discount. And she said, she said that there's an expectation. She's got a few 100,000 followers, but she straight away said, then her and her husband said, we pay our way. And I thought to myself, what a refreshing couple. What a refreshing thought that these are people who are rungs up the ladder from where we are, and they're like, we want to support small business. And I think if everybody did that, by all means, squeeze the people above you, but the people below you, help them out, support them. And show support by giving money, not show support by giving me free stuff and then I'll post your stuff and you might get work from me. It doesn't work like that, in my experience. Unless you're selling stuff that is like in a cheaper price point, if you're selling like pillowcases or something like that, which are relatively low cost to produce compared to our products, then chances are more people can afford those products. Therefore, the chance of that social media campaign are going to be a bit more successful, or higher rather. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And remember, this is just my personal opinion. Like, we are in a business, we're in an industry, we're in a sector where we do get a fair amount of work through social media, but I guess this is just my personal opinion on how I conduct myself in the world of social media, in the sense that if I'm going to outwardly project a certain type of lifestyle, I don't feel right messaging somebody and saying, can I get this stuff for free? When reality is I should be paying for it. But that's just me. And I'm not telling you how to live your life. I'm not telling anyone how to live their life. But for me, if I buy something and I like it, I'm going to bang on about it anyway. Like, that's just the way that it is. I'm going to recommend it. And if I don't like it, I'll write a Google review and job done. Maybe I may not even bother with that. But yeah, that's the point. So hopefully we move towards a place where all the fake social media famous people dwindle away. And this is always, you always have this, no matter, there's always a sector in life who are trying to do things the shortcut way and so on. And this is just a space of time where we've got to let that time pass, and then things will find balance again. Then there'll be something new. But my point is, that's just my personal philosophy, and I thank you for watching. That's all I've got to say in the matter. Next week, there'll be no video like this. I'm going to be in Norway on a cruise, so there will be some travel content. We're looking forward to that. I enjoyed making my videos when I was in India, so Norway is going to be just as fun. It'd be great to get some shots on the ship and up in the mountains and going through the fjords and so on and so forth. So yeah, if you got this far, as always, thank you for watching, guys. I really appreciate this because like I said, this YouTube thing is not it's not my career, and if it turns into anything, great, but this is just a creative outlet for me to be able to speak my mind, and also to improve my video editing and video making skills, which then in turn, funny enough, I use those skills on social media, on our work social media, to increase our sales. So yeah, full circle. Ciao for now.